Right, mic check, mic check. Hello, hello, everyone. Gotta make sure I'm working here. There we go. All right. All right, we are back with Beyond ATC with traffic injection on the supporters pack. We're going to check it out. I think there's been some updates to it. I haven't had a chance to fly. Supposedly it's supposed to be improved. I'm still loud and echoing, so let's fix that. And let's settle in for a fairly quick flight to Pittsburgh and back. I think we have some weather. Certainly looks like an incredible sunset right now in the sim. Let's see what we're looking with here. Not too much weather. Certainly not what we had into Charlotte the other night. All right, we're American 1916. We're here at Gate 17 at LaGuardia. So let's get set up. Test. It looks good. A lot of planes here since this update, so that's interesting. Take it. AAL 1916. Let's go get our clearance to Pittsburgh. Frequencies would help.
Endeavor 5096, looking to pick up our clearance to James M. Cox Dayton Airport. Endeavor 5096.
Broken. Temperature 22, 2.17. Altimeter 3001. Landing runway 04. Departing runway 0413. Read I'll hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Victor.
Endeavor 5528, request IFR clearance to Savannah Hilton Head.
Endeavor 5528, LaGuardia clearance. Cleared to Savannah Hilton Head. Nathan's 5 departure. Then is filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 120.4. Squawk 0130.
Cleared to Savannah Hilton Head. Nathan's 5 departure. Then is filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 120.4.
Get a word in here.
Squawk 0130. Endeavor 5528.
Endeavor 5528, read back correct. Contact ground 121.7 when ready for pushback or engine start.
Ground 121.7 when ready. Endeavor 5528. Have a good one.
LaGuardia clearance, American 1916 with Victor. IFR to Pittsburgh, please.
American 1916, LaGuardia clearance. Thanks for Victor. Cleared to Pittsburgh Airport. Radar vector SIMS, then is filed. Maintain 4,000 feet. Expect flight level 380, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 120.4. Squawk 1702.
American 1916 cleared to Pittsburgh. Radar vector SIMS, then as filed. Climb and maintain 4. Expect 380, 10 minutes after. Departure on 120.4, squawk 1702.
Negative. Maintain 4,000 feet.
4,000 feet for American 1916.
American 1916, read back correct. Contact ground 121.7 when ready for push or start.
121.7 for pushback and engine start.
Delta 2342, request taxi to allocated gate.
Allocated gate? That's
Delta
a new one.
2342. Gate 9 or 7 taxi via uniform. Romeo. Hold short runway 13.
Gate 9 or 7 taxi via uniform. Romeo. Hold short runway 13. Delta 2342.
Endeavor 5528, request taxi to the active. Endeavor 5528, runway 13 taxi via 18, Alpha, Hotel, Bravo, Papa. Hold short runway 4. Runway 13 taxi via 18, Alpha, Hotel, Bravo, Papa. Hold short runway 4, Endeavor 5528.
American 1473, gate 20, request pushback.
American 1473, LaGuardia ground. Pushback approved. Face southwest.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face southwest. American 1473. Brickyard 4512, at ramp 30, request pushback.
Brickyard 4512, LaGuardia ground. Pushback and engine start approved. Face southeast.
Pushback approved. Face southeast. Brickyard 4512. Endeavor 5370. Request taxi to allocated gate.
Endeavor 5370, gate 82 taxi via uniform. Romeo. Hold short runway 13.
Gate 82 taxi via uniform Romeo. Hold short runway 13. Endeavor 5370. American 1473, ready to taxi to the active.
American 1473, runway 13 taxi via 5, 3, 2, Echo, Charlie Charlie, Golf Papa. Hold short runway 4.
Runway 13 taxi via 5, Tree, 2, Echo, Charlie Charlie, Golf Papa. Hold short runway 4, American 1473. Brickyard 4512, ready to taxi to the active.
Brickyard 4512, runway 13 taxi via 6, Alpha Hotel, Bravo Papa. Hold short runway 4.
Runway 13 taxi via 6 Alpha Hotel, Bravo Papa. Hold short runway 4, Brickyard 4512.
Endeavor 5096, cross runway 4 at Papa. Continue taxi via Papa.
Cross runway 4 at Papa. Continue taxi via Papa, Endeavor 5096. American 2043, request taxi to allocated gate.
So we have a lot of traffic here.
American
Might have to
2043,
dial that back down
ramp
now.
Alpha 16 taxi via uniform, Romeo. Hold short runway 13.
Ramp Alpha 16 taxi by uniform, Romeo. Hold short runway 13, American 2043.
American 2043, hold position for traffic. I'll call you back.
Hold position for traffic, American 2043.
Endeavor 5096, contact LaGuardia Tower 118.7.
Contact Tower 118.7, Endeavor 5096.
LaGuardia Ground, American 1916, ready for pushback and engine start.
American 1916, LaGuardia Ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face northwest.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Push and start approval, face northwest, American 1916.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Endeavor 4996, gate 71, request pushback.
Endeavor 4996, LaGuardia Ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast.
Pushback and engine start approved, face northeast, Endeavor 4996.
Locking gear.
Hearing a lot
Endeavor
of air traffic,
4996, ready to taxi to the active.
Endeavor 4996,
See what
runway
happens here.
13 taxi via 1211 Alpha Hotel Bravo Papa. Hold short runway 4.
Runway 13 taxi via 1211 Alpha Hotel Bravo Papa. Hold short runway 4, Endeavor 4996.
United 1805 at gate 47, request pushback and
Release
engine
park and
start.
brakes. Commencing push.
1805,
All engines clear.
LaGuardia Ground,
Start at will.
pushback and engine start approved. Face southeast. Pushback and engine start approved. Face southeast. United 1805.
Delta 2574. Request taxi to assigned gate.
Delta 2574. Gate 20 taxi via uniform. Romeo. Hold short runway 13.
Gate 20 taxi via uniform. Romeo. Hold short runway 13. Delta 2574.
United 1805. Taxi for departure.
Let's go.
United 1805. Runway 13 taxi via 8. Alpha Hotel Bravo Papa. Hold short runway 4. Runway 13 taxi via 8 Alpha Hotel
parking
Bravo
brake.
Papa. Hold short runway 4. United
Set.
1805.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Endeavor 5003, gate 9 or 6. Request pushback.
Endeavor 5003. LaGuardia ground. Pushback approved. Face northeast.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast. Endeavor 5003.
United 1805. Hold position for traffic. I'll call you back. Hold position. United 1805.
Up, down.
Endeavor 4969. Request taxi to
Rudder.
allocated gate.
Rudder. Center.
Endeavor
Controls free and
4969.
correct.
Gate 45 taxi via uniform. Romeo. Hold short runway 13.
Gate 45 taxi via uniform. Romeo. Hold short runway 13. Endeavor 4969.
Delta 2561 at gate 8 tree. Request pushback. Delta 2561. LaGuardia ground. Pushback approved. Face northeast. Pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast. Delta 2561.
LaGuardia Grand, American 1916, ready to taxi.
American 1916. Runway 13 taxi via 2. Echo. Hold short runway 4.
2 Echo, hold short of runway 4, American 1916.
Negative. Clarify departure runway 13.
Taxi runway 13 via 2 Echo, holding short of runway 14, American 1916.
American 1916. Hold position for traffic.
Hold position for traffic, American 1916.
Negative, negative. Hold position for traffic.
Holding position, American 1916.
Endeavor 5003, taxi for departure.
This might be busy getting out of here.
Endeavor 5003. Runway 13 taxi via 18. Alpha Hotel Bravo Papa.
I don't know
short,
what that
runway
is
4.
because that's not telling me what just happened.
Runway 13 taxi via 18 Alpha Hotel
1 second.
Bravo Papa. Hold short runway 4, Endeavor 5003.
Oh.
Delta 2561,
Yeah, what
taxi
happened?
for
So we can do
departure.
this.
Delta 2561, runway 13 taxi via 16 Alpha Hotel
Maxim TV,
Bravo
thank you for
Papa.
the follow.
Hold
Sorry
short
about that.
runway 4. Runway 13 taxi via 16 Alpha Hotel Bravo Papa. Hold short runway 4, Delta 2561.
So this is
JetBlue 1799, Gate 2, request pushback and engine start.
This is now traffic
JetBlue
overload.
1799, LaGuardia ground. Pushback approved. Face east.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face east, JetBlue 1799.
Delta 2561. Hold position for traffic. Hold position, Delta 2561.
They're not giving any
Delta
crossing
2561.
instructions.
Continue taxi. Continue taxi, Delta 2561. Endeavor 4915. Request taxi to assigned gate. Endeavor 4915. Gate 71 taxi via uniform. Romeo. Hold short runway 13.
There's no reason to be holding short of the runway now.
Uniform Romeo. Hold short runway
Interesting.
13. Endeavor 4915.
Endeavor 5528. Cross runway 4 at Papa. Continue taxi via Papa.
Well, so far, I mean, it's not bad. Thank you for the follow,
Continue
TK.
taxi via Papa.
It's not bad. I don't know why my chat's not showing up on my display over there, so I had no idea what you're talking about. It's not bad. This is the first time I'm seeing,
allocated gate.
Delta
I can
1388.
fix that real quick.
Gate 81 taxi via uniform.
Annoying.
Romeo.
And we're waiting
Hold short
anyway.
Runway 13.
Gate 81 taxi via
So they
uniform
are giving
Romeo.
runway
Hold short
crossing, so
runway
that's good.
13. Delta
I've only
1388.
used it once so far.
Endeavor 5528. Contact
guess the
LaGuardia
software
Tower
is serious.
118.7.
Over to Tower 118.7, Endeavor 5528.
United 1805. Continue taxi.
Continue taxi, United 1805.
Let's see, is that
American
gonna work?
1473. Cross runway 4 at Echo. Continue taxi via Echo, Charlie Charlie, Golf, Papa.
Cross runway 4 at Echo.
Thanks,
Continue
again.
taxi via Echo, Charlie Charlie,
Do a
Golf,
quick little
Papa, American 1473.
Test message. All right, that's working now. Sweet. Can actually see chat.
JetBlue 1799, request taxi.
All right, let's strap
Endeavor
in and
5003. Hold position for traffic. I'll call you back.
Hold position. Endeavor 5003.
JetBlue 1799. Runway 4 taxi via Alpha Charlie, Alpha Alpha.
Runway 4 taxi via Alpha Charlie, Alpha Alpha, JetBlue 1799.
Delta 2561.
I mean, this is like
Hold
legitsi's
position for
busy,
traffic.
right?
Hold position for traffic. Delta 2561. JetBlue 1799. Contact LaGuardia Tower 118.7. Have a good one.
Over to Tower 118.7, JetBlue 1799.
Delta 1623 at Gate 73. Request pushback and engine start.
American 1473. Contact LaGuardia Tower 118.7. Have a good evening.
Oh, the
Over to
Wind
Tower
Wing FCU.
118.7, American 1473.
Delta 1623. LaGuardia ground. Pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast.
Pushback approved. Face northeast. Delta 1623.
American 1916. Continue taxi.
Continue taxi, American 1916. LaGuardia Ground, American 1916, holding short of runway 4 on Echo. Yeah, that's the Windwing FCU.
Cross
It is.
runway 4 at Echo. Continue taxi via
It is
Echo.
fantastic
Charlie,
for the price.
Golf, Papa.
Cross runway 4 at Echo. Continue taxi via Echo. Charlie, Golf, Papa to runway 13, American 1916. For the price, you can't beat it. I mean, it's really fantastic.
Continue taxi via Echo. Charlie, Golf, Papa.
Echo, Charlie, Golf, Papa, American 1916.
Aircraft calling. I didn't get that.
Oh boy. They need to do better with the speech recognition.
Request taxi
Say
to
Intentions,
company
I think, does a little bit of a better job on understanding
Endeavour 4924,
slurred speech,
ramp
speaking
88
fast,
Alpha
speaking
taxi
not
via
naturally.
uniform. Romeo. Hold short runway 13.
But it's
Ramp
not bad.
88 Alpha
I'm enjoying
taxi
both.
via
I kind of
uniform.
bounce back and
Romeo.
forth between both
Hold
programs.
short runway 13. Endeavour 4924.
I think Say Intentions feels a little bit more natural
Delta
to me.
1623. Ready to taxi to the active.
And you can actually carry a
Delta
conversation with
1623.
it.
Runway 13
But
taxi
beyond
via
it, it's no
12,
slouch.
11,
It's not bad.
Alpha Hotel, Bravo Papa. Hold
I
short
think they just
runway
need
4.
to, you know what? I didn't
Runway
even turn on
13
the
taxi
motion
via 12.
They just need to
Alpha,
get,
Hotel, Bravo, Papa. Hold short
whatchamacallit
runway
dialed
4.
in.
Delta
Sometimes speaking
1623.
back, even if I speak clearly, like if it's not like what it's expecting, it will not understand you, which can be frustrating. Oh yeah, this is the VR Insight
American
737 overhead panel,
Contact LaGuardia
and
Tower 118.7. See you.
because of how good the Phoenix V2 is, 118.7 American 1916. Because of how good the Phoenix is,
Welcome.
Poppy
Bridge
shampoo.
Ride
Thanks for the
5592.
lurk, enjoy it. I ordered the same company makes the A320, and it's got the same mount, so it's just plug and play. Should be about another week or two before it shows up. LaGuardia Tower, American 1916, holding short of runway 13 on Papa, ready for departure.
American 1916 LaGuardia Tower, wind 050 at 10,
Melons.
130, runway 13, cleared for takeoff.
Copy the wind, runway 13, cleared for takeoff, American 1916.
Brickyard 5592, wind
Airbus is
050
not too bad.
at 10, runway 4 cleared to land.
Oh, we cleared him to land
Runway
while I'm
4
cleared for
cleared to
takeoff.
land.
This is
Bridge Ride 5592.
definitely going to work out.
LaGuardia Tower, Endeavour 5378, visual runway 4.
Endeavour 5378, LaGuardia Tower, continue.
All right, we got
Local,
runway 13 on the
Endeavour
ground.
5378.
13 confirmed. There's definitely a lot of planes, that's for sure. All right. %. Alright. Manflex 30 blue, SRS heading green, auto thrust blue, airspeed is alive. Is it alive? Yeah, it's alive. It's in stop motion though for
Endeavour
some reason.
5378, wind 050 at 10, runway 4
Okay.
cleared to land.
Runway 4 cleared to land.
100.
Endeavour 5378.
Oh, why it's in stop motion? That is very weird. Because my frame rates are really bad. I'll have to knock the traffic down for the next flight. I have no idea.
LaGuardia Tower,
B1
Delta
rotate.
1538, visual runway 4.
Delta
Wow.
1538, LaGuardia Tower, continue.
Roger, Delta
Then that happened.
1538.
Yeah, I have the traffic and beyond cranked up. It's overall smooth. It's mostly the PFD and stuff that looked like it was slow. Yeah, like if I'm just on VATSIM, it's fine. God, it sounds so good, doesn't
American
it?
1916, contact New York departure, see you.
Over to departure, we'll see, American 1916. That's what
3001, expect the visual approach runway 4, Jazz 642.
Jazz 642, descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Descend, maintain 3,000 feet, Jazz 642.
Jazz 642, descend and
Can't get a
maintain
word in, like,
2,400.
reminds me of my flight training
Descend,
days.
maintain 2,400, Jazz 642.
The approach, good evening, American 1916, 3,200 for 4,000, heading 130.
New York, Brickyard 5656. Good evening, 7,500 feet with information, Victor. Brickyard 5656, New York approach. Altimeter 3001, expect the visual approach runway 4. Altimeter 3001, expect the visual approach runway 4. Brickyard 5656.
It's a good way to practice.
American 1916, New York departure. Good evening, radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 190.
190, American 1916.
Endeavor 5528, fly present heading. Climb, maintain flight level 180. Fly present heading.
Yeah, so for practice, this is where I think these programs are really going to be good. Something like Beyond, Say Intentions, things like that are going to get you,
360. Expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 4.
is really going to get you down for
Expect radar vectors for visual
getting more
approach
comfortable on the
runway 4.
radios,
Delta
getting the
1684.
flying brain engaged, because, you know, knowing the calls is one thing, but knowing what to expect and when
11 miles. Report the field in sight. Field in
is
sight.
key to staying ahead of the airplane, because, you know, ATC starts talking to you, you can get lost talking to ATC and just not paying attention to what the airplane is doing.
Delta 1684. Delta 1684. Contact LaGuardia
Because it's not a person, you don't have to worry about embarrassing yourself, you can get used to it, get comfortable with it, and then go to VATC.
Delta 1684. See you. Brickyard 4772.
Am I gonna get a heading? What's happening?
Descend and maintain 2,100 feet. Vectors for the approach. Expect further clearance in about 28 miles. Fly present heading. Descend, maintain 2,100 feet. Brickyard 4772.
That's a game changer for me. Like, I can't do VATSIM with mouse and keyboard.
Expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 4.
Leave Crowley heading 020, expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 4, Jazz 642.
I know.
Turn right.
I mean, that's the whole reason I started building all this.
Vectors for the approach.
For immersion, for just, it makes the whole process easier. Obviously, you don't need to get this crazy with it.
Heading 015,
Um,
Jazz 642.
Alright, lights off because,
Turn right. Heading 300. Expect further clearance in about 17 miles.
heading 300, American 1916.
JetBlue 1799.
Autopilot went on.
Contact New York Center 118.975. Have a good evening. Contact New York Center 118.975.
My wife has her shoe and dress collection, so I have this. I guess that's how it works out.
266. Leave Proud heading 345. Expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 4.
BATC is good. I upgraded to the supporter edition to get access to the traffic.
Delta 2266. Airport is
Speaking of traffic, I am going
Report the
to
field in sight.
drop that back to the recommended value of 5 because it looks like it's working quite well, so I had
New
to
York,
bring it
Delta
up.
524, descending via Tower 2, 9,000 with information, Victor.
Dude, you open my front door and there's just like a sneaker and flip-flop and like sandal and shoe collection. Then there's more shoes. Oh, God.
Visual approach runway 4.
Altimeter 3001, expect the visual approach runway 4, Delta 524.
Delta 524. Airport is at your 12 o'clock 10 miles. Report the field in sight.
Field in sight.
So I'm going to go
Delta
back to the
524.
recommended traffic
Delta
density of 5.
524. Cleared visual approach runway 4.
I bumped it up last time because it seemed like I did not have a lot of traffic, so I was kind of a little disappointed, but this is the experience that you're looking for right now.
118.7. Have a good one.
I know things like
Delta
24.
I don't think en route traffic is it.
Delta 1662.
Just approach.
Good evening. 13,700 feet with information Victor.
Which I imagine once they get that sort of stuff, that's going to be the harder part for them. Once they nail that up, they'll probably do the en route stuff.
Altimeter 3001. Expect the visual.
But I mean, it looks good enough for me so far.
Altimeter 3001. Expect the visual approach runway 4. Delta 1662.
New York, Bridgyard 5729. Good evening. 17,700 feet with information Victor.
American 1916. Contact New York Center 121.125.
This looks awesome, I gotta say. Yeah, but the FCU for the price, you can't beat it. I hear really good things about their side stick. I have a lot of the Wing Milljet stuff. I have like the F-18 kit. The stick and throttle is
Contact New
fantastic.
York Center 121.125.
New York Center on 121.125, American 1916. New York Center, good evening, American 1916 is 17,000 for 19,000, heading 300.
American 1916, New York Center. Climb and maintain flight level 380.
Up to 380, American 1916. So it should get quieter, I think, on the center, because I don't think that's where they're injecting the traffic at that level. Yeah, we got like, what, 60-something days, I think? Till 2024, it should be good.
American 1916, turn right, heading 320.
320, American 1916. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great. I mean, I hope it's great. I'm being really hopeful. It seems like the Asobo team and them, they seem like they're really into this franchise and want to see it succeed and do great things with it, so I'm kind of hopeful. If we didn't get to see the team as much as we do, like years ago, I would 100% think that this is a cash grab. But it seems like these dudes are really into the franchise. It seems like they're really into aviation, so I think they'll do the right thing. IRL just GA. I get to live out my airline fantasies through this thing. I got my private's license April of 2021. Then I flew for probably just about I'll say 3 years. I think it was last summer, I want to say, is when I stopped flying. It just got super expensive. I mean, that's really just where it came down to. Is, you know, $200 an hour. Excuse me, for the plane. You know, I was going for my instrument rating. I think the instrument rating it's great knowledge to have. But I feel like that sapped a little bit of the fun of flying for me. Not to mention those lessons were a little bit more expensive.
Resume own navigation.
Direct Sims, resume own navigation, American 1916. I'm going to be 42 in 2 months, so you're definitely not too old. As long as you can pass the medical, I say do it. Yeah, I got my license at 39, I think. I started training just after I turned 38. I think I got the PPL in about 6 months.
American 1916.
Did a bunch of flying.
Contact New York Center 133.15.
133.15, American 1916. Ah, thanks, Decan. Appreciate you. New York Center, American 1916, flight level 260 for 380.
American 1916. Say altitude.
Flight level 260.
American 1916. New York Center. Roger.
We got the seatbelt signs off. We got smooth ride so far. Yeah, it is one of the most rewarding accomplishments that you can do. Oh, and here comes the turbulence. All right, seatbelt signs back.
Please be seated and fasten your seatbelt.
Yeah. Like, knowing that you planned the flight and got from point A to point B in one piece is awesome. Yeah, and that's one of the things I like about this sim, you know. And even in 2024, you know, sometimes people will be like, oh, you know, they're doing like jobs and activities or whatever. But that's also the cool thing about it. As long as they're not removing anything, I'm all for it. Because if it brings more people into the hobby, it overall lowers the price. Something like this, when I got into flight simming, I've been flight simming since like since the Sublogic flight sim days, which was like the dot green screen and it was like 1 frame a second. You had no idea what was going on. When I started to get more serious into it and started buying peripherals, like these little fuckers up here, these are the original GoFlight, the one with the black face is the original GoFlight P8 switch, a T8 switch, sorry, it's a toggle switch. And all it was a generic switch panel, and it had like a little, a light. Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I think it's not a cash grab. Or they'd be like, well, you could go to MustFest 2024, but at 50% off, rebuy all your add-ons. Like, that wouldn't be good. But one of those little panels, if I remember correctly, was like $250 with no mounting kit. And that was in, fuck me, like 2002. It was like 20 years ago. And about 22 years ago. And that's expensive. Because if you think about like the cost of inflation, then that panel's like $600 to me, right? So I remember buying their replica 737 throttle quadrant, and it was the biggest piece of garbage. Like, it fell apart after like 2 months. It was $600 back then. The best thing that they made was the 737 MCP. It had no backlighting. I don't even want to know how much I spent for it. I could probably dig through my Gmail and find the receipt. But it was so expensive. And now, as more people are getting into the hobby, FMC for Boeing is $2,000. What's up, Dave? How are you? So I do have, it's actually in the corner, I have the Cockpit Simulator CDU. And it's great. Again, still very expensive for something that's a bit of a one-trick pony, right? It's just the CDU for one airplane. So for $700, $800, whatever I spent on it, I think it's overpriced. I've certainly gotten my use out of it. I was doing Boeing stuff for a very long time, but primarily only that. It's only recently that I transitioned back to the Airbus because the Phoenix is so damn good. But, you know, now enter WinWing. $100. $100. That's unheard of. This thing would have been like $1,000 20 years ago. So if you're not in a rush for a radio stack, I would say hang out, because WinWing is releasing a Boeing and Airbus radio stack, and it's probably going to be on par with prices like this. I have the Logitech radio stack. It's okay. It's like a little weird and clunky sometimes and does some weird stuff. And again, I feel like that's overpriced.
Center 124.625.
124625 American 1916. I feel like the quality is worse than the WinWing, and it's more money. If you don't want to wait, Core Flight makes some fantastic stuff. Mad Gun, how would I compare PPL to a driver's license? It's not even a comparison. Flying a plane is definitely not like driving a car. I wish. New York Center, American 1916, flight level 350, climbing 380. Yeah, check out Core Flight. They're in Turkey, I believe. They ship stupid fast. And they're like primarily Boeing right now. But they're relative. I don't remember how much the radios cost, but I don't remember them being expensive. And they're decent quality. The drawback is you need either MobiFlight, which is free, or SPAD, which is paid. I prefer SPAD. You get different airplanes. SPAD runs the whole show here. SPAD allows me to flip the overhead panel, and it actually even controls, well, it's one of the things that allows me to control the LED strip overhead to give me a little bit extra light. Flip it off, goes back into little red. The X56. Yeah, and I had the X56. Believe it or not, I just sold it to a coworker of mine because I have the WinWing stuff now. But PPL to a driver's license, man, just in theory, I mean, there's just so much going on. Like, you just can't compare it. Aircraft is just a 3D environment. There's so much happening at the same time. There's turbulence. There's other airplanes. You know, it's hella more expensive. Well, that too. Like, you need to have like a really good understanding of weather. And I didn't even really feel like, obviously, you know, like, weather is part of the equation of flying, right? I didn't realize how much of a weatherman you actually needed to be to truly understand pressure systems and fronts and all these different things that can impact your flight, because, you know, it's very easy to look at the airport you're at. Like, if you're just going to go do pattern work, that's a very easy weather briefing. You don't really need to look too much into big picture weather. You need to look at your general area and go, I'm going to go do some pattern work. It's going to be a good day. The winds aren't forecast, and it's not going to be a thunderstorm. Check the box. You know, I'm simplifying it, but check the box and you're good to go. You want to go do a 200, 300 mile cross country, or go up, let's say, you know, from me here on the island and go up to Vermont, you know, that's about a 3-hour flight one way. You have to think more big picture. You have to think about fuel and things like that, right? Because, you know, let's say you have 5 hours of endurance, it's a 3-hour flight, but as you get there, the weather now changes and you have to divert. Do you have enough weather to divert further? You know, and things like that. Pixelated official, do I have a link for all my gear? I think I have. It's probably a little bit dated now. I do need to update it. I've kind of changed a lot in a short period of time. I used to, when I started streaming, I had a I built like a small room down here that had a G1000 hardware panel, a bunch of switches.
Contact New York approach 120.4. Take care. Contact New York approach. Brickyard 4401.
With 3 like 55-inch TVs, and that was fine, but ultimately I wanted to go motion rig, and this thing takes up less space than that did, so it all worked out. Yes, that is WinWing's FCU. So we have the WinWing FCU, we have the Core Flight Boeing EFIS transponder, COM and NAV, which the COM and NAV are really the same thing. It's kind of the faceplate that they print different. I think it's 3D printed. Still good quality. But I'm using it as just 2 COM radios because I get more value out of that, and then if I ever expand, then maybe I'll do I designed and 3D printed my own mounts for everything to put it on. This is the desktop Aviator Cessna switch panel, which I like, but I do wish that the starter had a spring in it, just for an added touch. This is the Brunner force feedback yoke, and the Brunner force feedback pedals, which are fantastic. It really adds a. I think they 3D printed. I'm not 100% sure. It feels very custom made. It's a quality 3D print for sure, and they use like Arduinos to drive it all, and they have the software and everything all set up. But like I could tell, like the knobs and the test and the transfer buttons, those are 100% 3D printed. I would almost bet money on it.
American 1916. Contact New York Center 132.5. See you.
132.5 American 1916. New York Center, good evening, American 1916. Flight level 382.
American 1916, New York Center, Roger.
I have the Bravo throttle, and I don't know what I will do if it ever breaks with the whole honeycomb debacle. I still recommend it. I think it's a great unit for what it is. Just understand the full situation of what's going on at Honeycomb, and that you may or may not have any support on it. If you're okay with all of those things, it's great for what it is. You will not regret it. I have on the little shelf over there a bunch of different handles from ProDesk Sim. I have the Boeing ones. Right now I'm using the Airbus ones. It has the notches to add the detents. It's really nice. I will say caution about ProDesk Sim lately. I didn't have any issues with them. A couple of friends of mine have purchased from them, and it has taken an extremely long amount of time. SPAT is fantastic. Can't recommend SPAT enough. Took a really long amount of time. One friend of mine didn't even get it. He had to request a refund, which like seemingly took forever. It was like a whole big debacle. My other friend got one where I think the reverse handles were all jacked up. So as of late, I'm hearing some suspect stuff from ProDesk. I would do some Google search. FS Elite had a whole article on it. Basically, the cliff notes seems to be that the two owners are parting ways. There seems like there's a lot of drama. Yeah, Sporty's. I think I got mine from Sporty's. I mean, I've had mine for like 4 or 5 years now. I want to say since it came out. I don't want to say 4 or 5 years. I don't think it's that long.
United Tree 56, New York Center.
I want to say at least 3, at minimum. But get it from a reputable place. Don't buy it from their website. If you Google about the drama, go on FS Elite. There's tons of stuff about what's going on. So, but you can't go wrong. You know what you get with it. It's a quality built product. You know, and then there's other people too other than ProDesk Sim that basically give you that you could buy different handles and stuff. Like I love the Airbus handles because it has the little notch. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. And I know what I really want is I don't think I can mount it in here. I just don't think it's something I could do. And I don't even want to attempt to figure out if I can or not, because then I'll buy it and it's really expensive. But if you're really, really, really into Airbus, the Throttle Tech A320 throttle box it's chef's kiss. I think it's like $1,300, but just for the throttle. So, yeah, I mean, but it's the legit V1 Sim. I believe is a captain on the 320, and he says those throttles are like. Yeah, it's expensive. It's quality, but it's expensive. But he says it's pretty much a replica unit of what's in the bus. You know, it's backlit. I'm a sucker for backlighting, which is the only thing that I dislike about the overhead panel. Like the LEDs and stuff light up on the overhead, right? Like if I do the annunciator test here. Actually, that's a bad example because I don't have that fully programmed for that. Because it's the 7.3 and I only just put like, you know, a bunch of necessity stuff. Take out a second mortgage. Yeah. So there's no real mounting option. And it's very big because it's a full size. I don't think it would fit here. I mean, the Bravo is very versatile. I have the mount from the 737 CDU that I 3D printed a mount that's screwed on top of it. So that allows me to have. I mean, right now I'm using the iPad, but I could just as easily screw the FCP or the McDo one here. And then I have the Real Sim Gear GCU on the right that I could use for like the G1000 stuff. Yeah, force feedback. A lot of people think force feedback of like a steering wheel in a car, but it is reversed. There wasn't sure. Okay, nice. The cool thing about the force feedback yoke, and I could speak this only towards the real world experience that I have in the 172, but it does other things. So, with the Brunner yoke, or with force feedback in general, the way the software works is it detects the airspeed. And in the real thing, the faster you go, the firmer the controls get. Like, you're not going to be able to just bang it. Obviously, it's powered on, but it's not inputting anything into the sim right now, right? So you're not going to be able to go banging this thing side to side, right? Yes, this is bolted down because it does like 25 pound-feet of force. So when this thing starts to stiffen up, I mean, it's really stiff. Like, you really have to rack it around. It's built well. What was I going to say? So the cool thing is, like, practicing slow flight in the real plane. You practice slow flight to get more accustomed to how the plane feels when you're doing slow flight on landing, right? You're flying slower. You'll see how you lose aileron authority. You know, you can almost kind of do slow flight and bang this thing stop to stop, and the plane is, it's not gonna do anything drastic. Versus if you're doing 95 knots and you tried to do that, I mean, you'd probably rip the wings off, but you know, you'll well, depending on what maneuvering speed is. But say again, American 1916.
American 1916. Contact New York Center 132.2. Take care.
132.2, American 1916. On this is Brunner. Brunner. It's pricey. It's pricey. New York Center, American 1916. Flight level 380. Would I do it again?
New York Center, Roger.
I don't think so. I mean, it's awesome. Their support is great. Anytime I had an issue, the button got jacked up, they sent me the instructions on how to do it. It was very easy to work on. They sent me all the parts. It was all in the warranty. It was great. I have no issues with these guys. But it's pricey. If it's in the budget, there's nothing better on the market. That's just what it is. But my whole point is with the force feedback is doing slow flight, you can feel the difference in the plane. When you're cruising in the 172, the controls are stiff, you're making small adjustments. When you're in slow flight, you're getting ready to land, you're seeing how the controls are getting loose. They're overall feeling loose and
American
impacting the control of the airplane less.
Center. Expect Demi 5, runway 10 left.
We'll expect the Demi 5, 10 left, American 1916. So, you know, doing something like a stall. No, it's, you know, as you're going slow, yes. So as you're going slow, you know, you're pulling back, and then eventually, like, you feel that nose drop, and you know, it's just awesome. And the cool thing about this is if you're into airliners, it's still sort of worth it from the hydraulics aspect. It simulates hydraulics. The control will be almost immovable if the hydraulics are powered off. Now, I have no time in any type of hydraulically powered aircraft, so I have no idea if that's what really happens. But the way it simulates it is there's a lot of force on the controls. And when the hydraulics are pressurized, it simulates that, and you feel, however you tune it, on whatever the profiles you download are, you feel the difference. So, for instance, if you had a hydraulic failure, that could impact how the controls actually feel. So, I have no time in any type with that type of controls. Are all force feedback folk? No. So I only have experience with this company, and I know this one. I wanted really the most travel, and this has, I think, 7 or 8 inches stop to stop, and it's a full 90 stop to stop. It's also motorized with the autopilot, so as the autopilot's doing its thing, which is pretty cool. That's a neat little trick it does. And you can override it, so if you grab it and you kind of like pull it out of that stiff autopilot mode, you can override the autopilot, which is cool. It's a little touch screen on here. You got a timer, which is nice. I don't really use the screen, but you know, it's there. So at least in terms of this company, I think one was like 12 pound-feet of torque, and I think this one was like 25. I could be totally misquoting the numbers. I could look it up in a hot sec. Descend via the Demi-510 left, American 1916.
The seatbelt sign is on. Please be seated and fasten your seatbelt.
Let's see really quick. So the more entry-level one they have is $40, I guess, Newton meters. 40 just says N, it doesn't say NM. And 1.7 on the roll. It's got 90 millimeters of pitch travel, 90 degrees on the roll. The one that I have the CLSE MK2, which actually either went up in price or I'm just sick in the fucking head. Probably a little bit of both. This one does 110 N of peak force on the pitch. I know NM is Newton meters, right? Isn't that the force measurement? I'm thinking of like my torque wrench days when I used to work on my car. I don't know what just the N is.
American 1916. Contact Cleveland Center 121.2.
I guess they're doing it weird.
American 1916. Contact Cleveland Center 121.2.
So that'd be 81 pound-feet of force? Maybe? I'd have to do some research. Say again for American 1916? I didn't catch the frequency.
American 1916. Contact Cleveland Center 121.2.
121.2, American 1916. Cleveland Center, American 1916. Descending Demi 5.
American 1916. Stay altitude.
Flight level 380.
American 1916. Cleveland Center. Roger.
It is getting bumpy. Slow our descent down. But yes, ultimately, force feedback is really cool. Is it necessary in flight simulation? No. Does it feel a lot closer to the real thing? Yeah, because, you know, in the real thing, it's not just a spring-loaded yoke that snaps back to center. Like, this thing stays where you put it when there's no forces on it. And you can actually get the feeling of trimming out the airplane very close to the real thing because you're trimming out the forces on the yoke.
American 1916. Contact Cleveland Center 124.4.
124.4, American 1916. Cleveland Center, American 1916, descending on the Demi 5.
American 1916. Stay altitude.
Flight level 340.
American 1916. Cleveland Center. Roger.
Alright, so we got the ILS. And the rotor pedals with force feedback, again, while really cool, probably not necessary. So the coolest part of them is just based upon the sheer amount of force that they provide, which again will also change based upon airspeed for like GA stuff. But for instance, if you're doing a multi-engine, like in the Baron or something, and you have an engine failure, you're doing leg day with these pedals. The drawback to these pedals is they need to be secured because they will skid around on the floor. They're meant to be bolted down. So I have them bolted on a piece of sheet metal, which is ultimately bolted through to the foot pad on the rig to keep them from moving.
American 1916. Contact Cleveland Center 2845.
128.45, American 1916. I am exhausted, but I am going to power through for the return leg just to get it over with. So then let's see, where else is in the schedule that we have to go for APL here? Then we're going down to DCA, and then we're going down to Raleigh, and this schedule is complete. Not bad. All in the 19. So slight tailwind all the way home. It's up till 5 a.m. with the work maintenance. Slept, woke up at 9. I am shot. We'll see how this landing goes. Alright, we're on the Demi 5, ILS 10, left. We are coming down to Nesto at 10, Gruns above 6, Hines above, sorry, not going on Gruns, we're going from Demi to Penguin, and then Hines at 6. The hell happened to all my hair? It's still here. This is going to be a really shitty landing because I'm so tired, my eyes are drying out and I fucking cannot see. It's still here. I got a haircut yesterday.
Cleveland Center, Endeavor 52.
I'm so aerodynamic! I don't know what to say.
Cleveland Center, Roger.
Alright, ILS 10 left, final approach course 101. Say again, American 1916. Raku at above 3,000.
Aircraft calling. I didn't get that.
Winds are 1403 for stable. Touchdown zone air positions 103. Say again for American 1916.
American 1916, Cleveland Center, Roger. American American
Maybe they weren't,
1916. Contact Pittsburgh, approach 124.75. Have a good one.
124.75, American 1916. Pittsburgh approach, American 1916. Send on this Demi 5 out of 1-2000.
American 1916. Verify information, Juliet.
Sure. We have information, Juliet, American 1916.
American 1916 Pittsburgh approach. Altimeter 3000, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 10 left.
Altimeter 3000, expect vectors ILS 10 left, American 1916.
0015 rule. Wind 100 at 7. Visibility 10. Cloud with 2100. Ceiling 3400 broken. 1000 overcast. Temperature 2.17. Altimeter 3000. Landing and departing runway 10 center, 10 left, 10 right, 14. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Juliet.
Set. We're not doing it anyway. They're giving us radar vectors. Don't particularly like it. That was a stellar cup of coffee, everyone.
Flight attendant, prepare for landing.
Southwest 241, leave Lemu heading 005. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway 10 right.
Leave Lemu heading 005. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway 10 right. Southwest 241.
Left, also 2 light, and if we have to enter the hold, it is a parallel entry, right turns. Coming up on Penguin.
Southwest 241, turn right, heading 015, vectors for the approach.
It's probably what's gonna happen.
Turn right, heading 015.
My eyes are really dry. I have like a little mini air purifier over here. And I think it's like, I think it blows like up this way, so I feel like an ever so slight breeze. I feel like it's drying out my contacts. I only had this problem when I started to add it. When I started running it. You can't be turning it off right now. I need sleep.
Southwest 241, 11 miles from Weil, turn right, heading 050. Maintain 3,000 feet until established on the final approach course. Cleared ILS runway 10 right.
Turn right, heading 050. 3,000 feet until established. Cleared ILS runway 10 right. Southwest 241.
Actually, shockingly good landings into Charlotte. Norfolk the other day. With all that weather.
American 1916, leave Hines heading 285. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway 10 left.
Leave Hines heading 285, expecting radar vectors ILS 10 left, American 1916.
Southwest 241, contact Pittsburgh Tower 128.3. Have a good evening.
Over to Tower 128.3. Southwest 241, take care.
American 1916, turn right, heading 290, vectors for the approach.
Right, 290, vectors for the approach. Okay, 1916. Alright.
American 1916, turn left, heading 280.
280 American 1916.
American 1916, turn right, heading 355.
Right, heading 355, American 1916. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, this was nuts. This thing was handling a crazy amount of traffic out in LaGuardia. The traffic seems fairly dead here now. I would assume that could, I don't know how busy Pittsburgh gets at, you know, Wednesday night late, supposedly it pulls.
American 1916, 13 miles from Stowey, turn right, heading 060, maintain 3000 until established on the final approach course, cleared ILS runway 10 left.
Probably have to deal with work. Right heading 060, maintain 3000 full established, cleared ILS 10 left, approach American 1916.
Pittsburgh, Delta 2583 Heavy, 10,800 feet with information Juliet.
Delta 2583 Heavy Pittsburgh approach. Altimeter 3000, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 10 right.
Altimeter 3000, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 10 right, Delta 2583 Heavy.
Keep the speed up since I'm so damn far out.
Pittsburgh, United 2478, 3700.
United 2478, Pittsburgh departure. Good evening, radar contact. Climb maintain 15,000. Altimeter
I mean, hey, if it
3000.
doesn't trigger a hard landing check,
Climbing
then
15,000. Altimeter 3000, United 2478.
Pittsburgh, JetBlue 1585, 17,200 feet with information Juliet.
alright, well, we're called, so that's gonna be
JetBlue
the
1585 Pittsburgh approach. Good evening.
lead return
Altimeter
leg, not happening.
3000, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 10 right. Altimeter 3000, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 10 right, JetBlue 1585.
$2,500.
Well, unfortunately I can't. Honestly, I was debating on just calling it just because I'm on like 3 hours of sleep. But I wanted to fly.
JetBlue 1585, descend and maintain 7,000. Altimeter
Alright, lights are on, everybody's happy upstairs.
Descend and maintain 7,000.
I don't know how I'm awake.
JetBlue 1585.
Pittsburgh, Spirit Wings 2371. Good evening, 2,300 feet.
Spirit Wings 2371.
I was supposed to...
Pittsburgh departure. Radar
Beast is
contact.
getting an upgrade.
Climb maintain flight level
It's
180.
Beast.
Climb maintain
What
flight
upgrade?
level 180, Spirit Wings 2371.
Spirit Wings 2371. Turn right. Heading 035.
Oh.
Expect further clearance in about
Well,
7
yeah.
miles.
Gotta work the overtime to
Right,
fund the rig
heading
obsession.
035, Spirit Wings 2371.
United 2478. Contact Cleveland Center 128.15. Have a good evening.
Contact Cleveland Center 128.15, United 2478.
Oh. Talk to me. What's happening? Give me the deeds, big boy. Oh!
American 1916.
Yeah, buddy.
Contact Pittsburgh Tower 128.3. Have a good evening.
Oh, what is our American 1916?
Negative tower on 128.3.
128.3 American 1916. Pittsburgh Tower, good evening. American 1916 on the ILS 10 left.
American 1916, Pittsburgh Tower, wind 100 at 7 runway 10 left, clear to land.
Check flaps 10 left, clear to land. American 1916. Slow down here. Dumping the gear down. Time to dangle the Dunlops. And speed check flaps 2. Speed check flaps 3. Speed check flaps 1000. Autopilot off my airplane. Come on, eyeballs, hold strong.
$500.
500.
$500.
500.
$100 above. Minimum.
Continue.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5,
eyeballs drying out.
American 1916, exit next available taxiway.
Exit X taxiway, American 1916. Finally getting a little bit of a handle here of the 319.
We would
not
like to be the first to welcome
leaving
you to
fucking
your
craters
destination.
behind.
As a reminder, please stay seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is off. Keep the aisle clear of all items. Don't forget to check your seat back pocket
American
and surrounding
1916,
areas to ensure
contact
you have all
ground
your belongings like cell
127.8.
phones, tablets, or chargers. When you open the overhead compartment, please be
Ground
careful as
127.8,
items
American
may have
1916.
shifted in flight. You may now use your cell phone. We know you have a choice in airlines, so whether you're staying or just passing through, we thank
Pittsburgh
you for
Ground,
choosing
American
Airlines to be a part of your
1916,
journey.
requesting
To
taxi
help
to
keep the
company
airplane
gate.
cool, please lower your window shades and open the air vents
American
prior to leaving the
1916,
airplane.
gate
If you are
Bravo
no longer
30
using your
taxi
reading
by
light,
Bravo
please turn
3
it off.
Bravo,
Thank you for your
Tango,
assistance.
Victor 6.
Bravo 30 via Bravo 3, Bravo Tango, Victor 6, American 1916.
Blue Streak 5585,
Blue
at gate
Streak.
28, request pushback and engine start.
Blue Streak 5585, Pittsburgh Ground, pushback approved. Face west.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face west. Blue Streak 5585.
Yeah, sure. Who these people are. Those. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do.
Blue Streak 5585. Request taxi to the active.
Alright, let's see where Bravo 30.
Blue Streak 5585, runway 10 center taxi via Echo, Whiskey.
Runway 10 center taxi via Echo, Whiskey, Blue Streak 5585.
Alright, Bravo 30 looks like it's in the middle of the lower shaft.
Blue Streak 5585, contact Pittsburgh Tower 128.3.
Over to Tower 128.3, Blue Streak 5585.
Okay, coming up on Victor 5. Next turn out's Victor 6. Making a right here on Victor 6. I think I'm going to leave the traffic on 5. This seems a little light, but I think like big airports, I think 5 will be ideal. Well, that's what I mean. Like, I cranked it up because I didn't think there was a lot of traffic, but they're actually potholes. Love potholes. Thank you, Ghost. Welcome in. Alright, we're coming up on 3 minutes. We'll shut down number 1. Single engine taxi the rest of the way. Well, that's what I mean. I had cranked it up last night, and when I left LaGuardia, it was like a ridiculous amount of traffic. I am not a VATSIM controller. I fly on VATSIM a lot, but I'm not a VATSIM controller.
Traffic, traffic.
Traffic, what? Okay. Now, I don't think I have the mental fortitude to do
Southwest 4451 at Gate 9er. Request pushback and engine start.
Southwest 4451, Pittsburgh
the right
ground.
gate.
Pushback
This guy's telling
and
me to
engine
cut it
start
off.
approved. Face northeast.
I don't know if I'm at the right gate.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast. Southwest 4451.
Do. Alright. I wonder if he was telling me to shut down, like giving weird because I was doing single engine, and maybe that was bugging him out. I'm not sure. Maybe Ghost, I'm not sure.
Flight attendants, verify and disarm doors. Stand by for all call.
Off. Off. Let's take a look at the old landing rate, and then it's time for work.
Southwest 4451. Taxi for departure.
I never noticed that at the top. Current flight details, open link. I didn't get to click that.
Runway 14 taxi via Victor 1 Tango Bravo November 5.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Runway 14 taxi via Victor 1. Tango,
Anybody know that
Bravo,
APL had this
November
page?
5. Southwest
no idea.
4451.
I had no idea. The more you know. It was very bright. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm blind. There's a little linky link at the top, and it says link to your flight, and it's got like a bunch of details. Hey, you got a 100% score on this flight. Yeah, minus 150. Woo! That's what I like to see. I had no idea. It's the first time I've ever seen that. Minus 150. Hashtag lazy. Volanta gives you like a little like overlay thingy too. What's that code number 7? Little Nicky look at the top. Well, this is almost sacrilege because I finished out my Southwest flying with the 319. Cleared on the right. I don't even remember quote number 4 or number 2. I don't remember this. Oh my god. Oh god. Where's the context on number 6? best quotes are out of context. This is true. What was that? So I think I found a bug in the Phoenix because the engines never stop spinning at that rate, and there's really no crazy winds here. I'm not really sure if that's a bug or if the actual Airbus does that. I can't say I've really noticed. But I tried it on multiple liveries and the 319 and the CFM, and they all do the same thing. They just seem to spin at that rate. Oh, you think it's the bleed air kicking through? Oh, I never even thought about that. I had the bleed air on. Let's see if that
Southwest 4451, contact Pittsburgh Tower 128.3, take care.
Contact Tower 128.3,
Better than the
Southwest
bleed air.
4451. Take care.
We're about to go cold and dark here in a hot second anyway, so off. Highly doubt it's the bleed air. Yeah. Yeah, we're not cranking anything, but maybe there's some sort of leakage in the Airbus, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I went like full cold and dark and it continued to do this for a long time. Like I'm pretty sure that these fan blades should have stopped moving by now. Like I've never seen this in any other Airbus add-on, and IRL, I mean, I'm always looking out the window. I've never noticed that. Unless it was a windy day, I've never noticed the fans spinning at a consistent rate like that. At that high rate of speed. Like, it doesn't seem like it's really slowing down. Or if it's slowing down, it's at a really, really slow rate. Well, let's do the looking at that anyway. Guess we can put the back on real quick. I'm also wondering why the EGT is so low right now. I feel like it should have cooled off that quick. Wonder if they broke something on the last update. We'll test one thing real quick, but then I do have to do some for work. Let's just do that. I feel like waiting for that. So let's do ground services. What's PCA? Is that the air start? I want to say it's the air start. Bleed, yeah, we got bleed air. Spin up number 2 here. I can't even, I'm so exhausted, I can't even see right now. How do we use the air start card? I have no idea. Do I do that? Now we're really spitballing and just clicking on shit. open, maybe? I could have just had the APU up to do this already. Still spinning. Ground air is going in. Why won't you fucking crank? Clearly I don't know how to use this thing, so we're just gonna start the APU. Like, everything's auto in the bus, so unless that's not actually the air start card. Maybe it's not, because I don't see any actual ductwork or anything hooked up. Unless it's simulating it off the jetway. I don't know. But it was a lot easier to do this, so. I just am interested to know what's going to happen with the temperatures.
The door is now closed. Please
yes?
turn off and put away laptop computers and any other large electronic devices. Also, please be reminded that any small handheld electronic devices such as cell phones, tablets, and smartwatches may be used, but they must be placed in airplane mode. If your tablet has a detachable keyboard, the keyboard must be detached before takeoff. We appreciate
You're just watching me fumble the whole time with that.
Feel free to continue watching our free wireless entertainment on your personal device, but please keep it securely held in your hand. If your electronic device falls
that's
into
just
your
air
seat,
conditioning?
do not adjust your seat and contact a crew member for assistance. Flight attendants, armed doors and cross-track stand by for all
Does this
calls.
thing even have an air start card? I don't see one in the little tablet here, then. I don't think engine fan heating is that.
Southwest 2048 at Gate 3. Request pushback.
I'm very
Southwest
interested to know why the EGT temperatures are so low. Because this thing does temperature simulation, and it's not freezing out for it
approved. Face
to be
east,
that low.
Southwest 2048.
And I was not shut down that long to have it that low.
American Airlines. Your flight crew for this flight is Captain
now
Taylor and First Officer David. My name is Noah, your lead flight attendant. Your crew looks forward to assisting you today. You are why we fly, and we're excited to get you to the people and places that matter to you. Let us know how we can help as we get you securely seated and ready for takeoff.
It does, but I've only been shut down a few minutes, and I feel like and historically with the bus, normally the temperatures are remaining in the 200s if I was trying to do a quick turn. And with Phoenix, you need to be mindful of that, or you can have issues. But it's like the EGT is falling off really, really quick for some reason, which I've not noticed in the past. So I'm wondering if something changed with this latest update.
Window shades must remain open for taxi, takeoff, and
Hey,
landing.
listen, don't you make fun of my
If you
feelings.
haven't already fastened your seatbelt, insert the metal fitting into the buckle and pull the strap so it is tight across your hips. To open your seatbelt, lift the top of the buckle.
Southwest 2048.
I mean, I don't know, maybe it was long enough.
Just in case there's
Southwest
turbulence,
2048, runway 14
Seems like
taxi
she's
via
falling off
Flight
really
1
quick.
Tango, Bravo,
Unless it's the fact that
November,
this thing is
November
free
5.
balling so fast that it's
Runway
cooling
14
it off
taxi
instead of it
by
being
Victor
stopped.
1, Tango, Bravo, November 5, Southwest 2048.
The safety card in your seat pocket explains
I'm not
the
sure.
safety
I
features
need
of
to
this
do
airplane, including the location and operation of
Die
exit
and
and
go to sleep,
flotation
so I'm exhausted,
devices.
so.
This airplane has 2 exit doors in the front,
okay,
2 window exits over the wings, and 2 exits.
That's the. Well, that's what I'm wondering. If there's some bug that the blades are still spinning, that's moving the air, that's cooling it off. Is my guess.
The airplane can be detached and used
Because
for
that temperature is
location.
almost matching the one that's been shut
Clearly
down the
marked
whole
with
time.
signs
It
and
shouldn't,
opening
that's
instructions.
not right.
If needed, exit path lighting in the aisle will illuminate near the floor to guide you to an exit indicated by signs and lights. Keep in mind the closest exit may be behind you. In the event of an emergency, leave all belongings and proceed to the
Lav,
closest
water,
usable
de-ice,
exit.
GPU.
If needed, oxygen masks will drop from an overhead compartment.
Alright, everything is off. Let's see if we could find someone to raid on the way out. I see a bunch of people. I didn't even know I'm following some of these people. Alright, let's go raid B-dubs on the way out. It's been a while. Streaming looks like Oakland Center. So everyone, stick around for the raid. Hope to see you on the next one. And have a great night. Thanks for hanging out.